because today we are going to do what's called like a weight loss audit. Okay, a weight loss audit or an audit of your progress. Okay, and if you've been a part of Fit Queen for a while, you know that I love an evidence list, right? And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll explain it. So basically, I'm a big fan of tracking your progress from every single angle imaginable. Okay, and the best way to do that is through an evidence list. So this evidence list is this long list that you're always adding to, and it's basically everything that you've done, everything that you're accomplished, everything that you're going to do that proves that you are making progress, that proves you are in the right direction and you are growing. Okay, that is what an evidence list is. Okay, and it's very important to have because it's something that you reference when you are in those dark moments of wanting to give up, in those dark moments of, I don't see any difference, I feel like I'm plateauing, in those ruts, we call it. Okay, so the evidence list is super important, and I want to kind of revisit that today and see where we are at. Okay, ladies, so I want to think about just the past 4 weeks. Okay, we're focusing on just the past 4 weeks so far. Okay, and I want you to ask yourself, okay, how much time, okay, over the past 4 weeks have you spent on your weight loss, your health, and your personal growth? How much time the past 4 weeks? Okay, so if you're confused at that, you can break it down into each week. Okay, so how many hours a week do you work out? How many hours a week did you meal prep over the past 4 weeks? How many hours a week did you meditate? Did you read? Did you grow your mind? Did you, get really good quality sleep? Like, how much time did you intentionally spend on your weight loss, on your health, and your personal growth over the last 4 weeks? Let me know in the comments. I want to know how much time, how many hours have you put into this? This is important for you to see. A lot. Give me more, Melody. I need more than that. Get specific. Get specific. How many hours? Write it in the comments. So anything little that was you intentionally choosing to invest time in your health, okay? So at least 4 days. There we go. Oh, I need a calculator. I love it. Yeah, count on your fingers. It's a rough estimate, all right? So now we have the time you've spent in, okay? Now, I want to know how much money have you invested in your weight loss, your health, and your personal growth, okay? Are you, buying organic food now? Are you buying fresh over frozen? How much money are you spending there? Did you buy workout equipment? Did you buy new workout clothes? Did you hire a coach? Did you buy a self-help book, right? So how much money in the past 4 weeks have you spent personally growing? Let's see it in the comments. Let's see it in the comments. How much money did you spend on yourself? Really important. We're going to go into each category here. Love it. Beautiful. Yeah, on supplements too, protein shakes for the first time, lots of different things. Yep, love it. Okay. So now, what did you sacrifice over the last 4 weeks? What did you sacrifice? To achieve something great, there's always a sacrifice. So you have sacrificed something. What was it? Did you sacrifice spending extra time with your family because they're a bad influence? Did you sacrifice a friendship because it was toxic? Did you sacrifice, having your favorite treat in the house and you threw it all out? What did you sacrifice? Did you sacrifice buying that really cute pair of shoes you wanted because you invested in a piece of exercise equipment? What did we sacrifice? All right, it's important. I want you to know it because I want you to know your efforts are not in vain. So what did we sacrifice over just the 4 weeks time? All right, really think about it. So throughout a lot of stuff. Yep, okay. Now, what did you gain over the past 4 weeks by focusing on your weight loss, your health, your personal growth? What did you gain over the past 4 weeks? Did you, lose X amount of weight? Are you able to fit into a certain amount of clothes? Did you get a compliment from a friend? Did you gain a little bit of self-confidence? Were you able to put yourself in an uncomfortable position? Did you get a promotion? What were some of the things you gained in the past 4 weeks? This is going on our evidence list to prove to ourselves that we are moving in the right direction and we are doing all that we can do. Okay? Now, last question for you. Scale of 1 to 10, okay? 10 being the highest. How much effort have you put into you? How much effort have you put into your weight loss, your health, and your personal growth over the past 4 weeks? Okay. 10 meaning every night when my head hits the pillow, I know that I've done everything I could. I know that I did my very best effort. Not that the results were perfect. That's not what I'm asking. How much effort? Did you try your hardest every day? Scale of 1 to 10. Where are you in the effort category? This is going on our evidence list as well. Where are we 1 to 10 just the past 4 weeks? Okay. Now, after seeing all those numbers, right? How much time you've invested, how much money you've invested, what you sacrificed, what you've gained, and all the effort you've put in, okay? Are you proud of yourself? How does that make you feel? Seeing that there listed, how do you feel about it? Is it shocking? Is it more than you expected, less than you expected? What's your interpretation of those numbers, of the facts that are laying out in front of you? Let me know your personal reaction to those numbers. What do we think? Ooh, I could do better. Less than I expected. Ooh, good job, ladies. Thanks for being honest. So yeah, let it out. Some people are being impressed. Some people will be like, oh, I could do more, right? And so my question for you then is, I want you to think of someone in your mind who you look up to in terms of weight loss and health, okay, and personal growth. Who's that person you look up to and kind of want to be like, right? So who's that person who has the body you want, who's got the lifestyle you want, who's where you are, and who you would consider an expert. So think of that one person that you think is an expert. Someone said me. Oh, thank you, ladies. Oh. So who do you think is an expert? Okay, take a second and have that person in your mind. Okay. Now I want to ask you this question. So that person, that expert you're thinking of, do you think their numbers are less, the same, or more than yours? Do you think the expert invested more time, the same amount of time, or less time? Do you think the expert invested less money, the same money, or more money? What do you think? Do you think the expert put in more effort, less effort, or the same effort as you? Definitely more. Exactly. 100%. In fact, the rule of thumb, if anybody's heard this before, is that to become an expert at something, you need to put about 10,000 hours in. Has anybody heard that before? The 10,000 hour rule? To become an expert at something, to begin to be considered an expert or to be competent on a subject, is about 10,000 hours. Crazy, right? And so who's close to 10,000 hours? Nobody, right? Definitely not yet. So the reason I bring this up is because we are so damn hard on ourselves. We don't see the number we want on the scale. We don't see what we want to see in the mirror. But are you an expert? Did you put in 10,000 hours? No. Look at your stats. How far away are you from becoming an expert? So lighten up on yourself. You are where you're supposed to be. You will get to where you need to be, but you have to just keep putting in the time, putting in the energy, and sacrificing, and the gains will come, and you will become an expert, like that person you had in your mind. Does that make sense, ladies? You're in kindergarten. You're a student, right? But we forget that. We think when we've been doing this for so long and we've been up and down for so long, we think we should be experts by now, right? And we think we should be farther along than we are, right? And then we get upset at ourselves when we're not. And we feel guilty when we mess up. But are you an expert? No. Are you even close? No. So you can't expect these things if you haven't put in the time, put in the practice, and put in the reps. Okay? So what I want from that whole exercise is I want you to be proud of yourself for how much effort and time and money and sacrifice you have put in so far. It is worth something, and it has showed, and it is 100, a million times better than 99% of the women out there. It truly, truly, truly is. And 99.9% better than a lot of, probably all of the women in your life. So be proud of that, but use it and interpret the facts. Don't get in your feelings, right? It's so easy to get in your feelings and say, I'm not where I'm supposed to be. I'm falling behind. I'm failing too much. Why is that person faster than me? If I just, behaved myself better, I'd be where she is. But take a look at your stats. Look at that list that you just put in. If it doesn't align with expert status, why are you expecting to get there so fast? Does that make sense? And so use it to be content with where you are and be proud of how far you've come. and use it to feel reassured in the fact that if you just keep adding to those numbers, you will get there. It's not if, it's when. Are you going to embrace the journey until then? That's what I want you to take away from this. And I've also been hearing a lot lately. I've been hearing a couple ladies saying, if only I was motivated enough. If only I could just be disciplined enough, right? Who said that before? Who still said that? Who said that to themselves today once? Yeah, I feel it. And so I want to kind of challenge that thought and say, you have all the discipline you will ever need. What do you think about that? You have 100% of the discipline you will ever need. It is just focused in the wrong area. It is just focused in the wrong area. You're really disciplined at hitting the couch when you get home. You're really disciplined at staying updated on all your Netflix shows. You're really disciplined at pulling out the popcorn late at night or late night snacking. You're really disciplined in these areas. You're really practiced in these areas. So it's not about creating discipline out of thin air, because that sounds like a hell of a lot of work, doesn't it? Like, how do I become disciplined? No, you are already disciplined. You have enough discipline to get you to where you want to be. It's just focused and it's scattered in the wrong areas. So you have to refocus and retarget the discipline that you already have. Not create a new one out of thin air. That sounds like too much work, right? Take comfort in the fact that you already have what you need. It's just we need to concentrate it and we need to hone it in the right area. So how do we do that? How do you refocus your discipline? How do you think? How do you refocus your discipline? How do you take what you have that's spread out over all your bad habits and put it into good habits? How do you think that happens? Take a guess. Take a wild guess. You just work on becoming an expert. And how do you do that? You just invest more time, more energy. You just be patient instead of trying to skip to the end. Does that make sense, ladies? Stop expecting to get to the end, because if you just fast track the journey and you end up at your goal, because we all know those people, right? We know people who've gone through big transformations, but it wasn't the healthy way. Does anybody know those type of people? They dropped a lot of weight very unhealthily. And so it's doable, and you could go do that, and you'd reach your goal faster. But would you be an expert? Are you worthy of maintaining that goal? Are you worthy? There's no way you can maintain that much power and that much of a goal if you're not an expert. You can't hold on to it. You just can't. You're not worthy of it. You're not the right person yet. And so we all know those people, so don't rush to it, okay? Discipline comes when you concentrate it in the right areas, and all you have to keep doing is improving those numbers, improving that list of numbers, doing an audit every 4 weeks of those numbers. Did it improve? Did I put in more time this past month than I did last month? If the answer is yes, then you have nothing to feel upset about. Doesn't matter how many times you failed. If those numbers increased, you are on track. Does that make sense, ladies? Does it give you some type of comfort? That should really, you should carry that thought with you through the dark times, through the failures, through the mess ups, through the disappointments. Because they're going to come. They're going to come. But if you know that they're going to come, they're not going to be as destructive. You're not going to be surprised, and they don't really do anything. You just learn from them, and you realize, okay, now I just have a chance to practice being an expert a little bit more. I have a chance. You know, a failure is kind of like a step. You can either fall off of it, or you can take it to elevate you to the next level. It's just a step, right? And if you choose to just increase those numbers and step onto the failure by doing that, well, then you're building your own ladder to your goals. You're building your own staircase to your goals. When you take the failure and your response is, okay, how can I improve those numbers? Time, energy, money, gains, sacrifice, all of that. How can I improve those numbers in the next 4 weeks? That's it. And there's no way you'll fail if you just focus on that and if you view failures that way. And it's really funny. So there's a story, and I'm going to share the story. It's of a peacock and a crane, okay? So one day, this peacock, it's walking down the road, and it sees this crane off in the distance, and the crane is walking towards it. And then all of a sudden, this peacock, it spreads its beautiful tail out because it wants to show off in front of the crane. And then the crane finally reaches a peacock, and the peacock goes, "Look, how could you even compare to my beautiful rainbow tail with your gray, dust-like feathers?" And then the crane, he jumps in the air, he flaps his wings, and he says, "Come follow me if you can." And then he flies away up into the sky, and the peacock is left on the ground. And so the moral of the story is the useful is more importance and value than just the plain ornamental, than just the plain physical, right? Become useful, become important, become valuable. If you just end up with the rainbow tail, you're going to stay on the ground. You're not going to be able to fly. Do you want to just be pretty on the ground? There's not much you can do just when you're just for show. Do you want to be just for show? Are you healthy when you're just for show? No. The outsides have to match the insides. You guys are meant to fly. You have the ability to fly. Fly further than you can even comprehend right now. If that even makes sense to you and resonates with you. You are capable of so much more than you can even imagine, but you're so focused on being the peacock, on becoming the peacock, that you forget that if you get there and you've only been focusing on becoming the peacock, well, then you can't fly when you get there and you get left behind. And you're left just being for show, just being the pretty one with no substance or value or importance. And that's not where we want to go with this. And so, again, ladies, take this exercise. Do it often. Do it daily if you're in a really dark place. Do it daily if you're struggling day in and day out, and say, okay, how can I just add to these numbers? This weight loss audit, I call it, it's so important. It just puts you back in that factual state, the logical, rational state where we can make important decisions the right way instead of making impulse decisions based on how we're feeling, right? Because usually when we make a health decision or a weight loss decision, because we're feeling some type of way, we're feeling stressed, we're feeling disappointed, we're feeling like we let ourselves down, well, then we make it in a way that's extreme, right? When we're in an extreme emotion, we produce an extreme solution that's extremely healthy, right? Let me just cut out, junk food for 5 weeks and only eat a salad and work out 2 hours a day, right? Those are the type of solutions we create when we're pulling from that place of feelings, and we're not referring to our weight loss audit, to that list of evidence that proves you otherwise, right? If there was zeros on your list, then you can be in your feelings. Then you can feel like a failure. Then you could be disappointed. If there was 0 on that list, then there's an issue. But even if there's 1 minute in the time zone, in the time slot, you are still moving in the right direction. And then next month is 2 minutes. And then the next month is 3. That is how small these changes can be. And that's okay. And that's okay. And then the slower you go, it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean that you're a failure. It doesn't mean that you suck more than this other person. Everybody is different. Everybody builds their evidence list at a different pace, right? Everybody is building their evidence list. So if you're looking at somebody and they've got a 6-pack, or you're looking at someone and they lost 5 pounds in 1 week, and you're like, why can't I get there? What's wrong with me? Nothing is wrong with you. Focus on your evidence list. Audit yourself. Are you putting that 10 out of 10 effort in? Probably not. So if you do that, it will show up, period. You can't think it's going to show up before you do the work, right? And skipping steps only puts you farther back. Does that make sense, ladies? I love it. So tell me your takeaway really quickly. Let me know what you guys are taking away today. Let me know if you really needed to hear this. Let me know if that ladder analogy hit you different, if the audit was needed for you. Let me know kind of where your mind is at today and what you took away from this. Let me see it in the comments. Let me see it in the comments. Just the boost I needed. I love it. I'm going to fly. Yes, that's so important, right? So important, right? When your goals are superficial, like the peacock's goal was, okay? It's not rewarding, and you can't maintain it, and you get left behind, and everybody else soars besides you, and that's not what you want. Need to fit in the shirt. I think I needed the audit. Yeah, an audit again, ladies. Like, you can do an audit every day if you wanted to. I find it's best to do it monthly, because then you have more data to pull from, and then you can kind of see, where can I add more time, right? Daily, it can seem overwhelming to find more time, right? So if you do it monthly, you can be like, okay, I only need to add, like 1 hour a week or something like that, right? Like even you listening to this call right now, that's in your time. right? That's 30 minutes that you've put towards yourself, your weight loss, your mental state. That goes on your audit, and that's your evidence, and that proves that you're in the right direction just by showing up to this call. You can give yourself a gold star. I'll mail you guys a gold star that you can put on your calendar. All right. I have to step back and look at your whole journey and sometimes make small changes. Yes. So the funny thing here too is your journey is very uneven. Your journey is very uneven. Stop comparing the different phases of your journey. Who does that? You're like, well, if I could just go back to the motivation I had when I started, or if I could just go back to this time, and then I can lose this much weight in this much time and I'll reach my goal by this. If I could just get back to that, right? Stop doing weight loss math. Stop comparing you to your old weight loss journey. Even if your weight loss journey was last month. It's like, if I could just find the motivation I had last month. That's not how it works. Every step of your journey, you're a new person. You can't look backwards. You have to say, how am I going to add to those numbers going forward? Okay, looking backwards and analyzing it is going to do nothing, because it's just going to show you who you were at that time. And if you've been doing this journey right, if you're a fit queen, you are, then you're not the same person you were yesterday. And tomorrow you're not going to be the same person you were today. So you can't expect the same process, the same progress, the same results as you had last week, last month, last year. Does that make sense? So take that with you too along your journey, whether you're way into your journey or you're just starting your journey, all right? It will be in waves. There are phases. Some phases are fast. Some phases are slow. Some phases are easy. Some phases are challenging. And that's just the journey. You can't pick and choose what phase you want to jump into. If you could, we'd be like, yeah, I'll take the fast, easy one, please. Right? Unfortunately, that's not how it works. I wish I could just dish it out to you. That's not how it's going to work over the entire length of your journey, right? Because we're looking for mind makeovers. We want a mind makeover, not just to lose some weight, right? Your body is a symptom of your lifestyle. We have to cure the root cause, not just treat the symptom. A cure takes a long time, okay? You can't just treat the symptom and expect it to go away.